Right, so welcome. We're half of Veggies and Vegans. I'm B, I'm the chair. Yeah, this is Tom. Tom is
Hi.
the treasurer. Yeah, so we'll start off with a little bit of a kind of a meet the exec team. So obviously, as I've said, I'm B, I'm the chair, so I do everything that's basically day-to-day running of the club, of everything to do with it. Yeah, if you have any questions, any problems, it's always good to message me. We've got our email, our Facebook, our Instagram. You can contact me through any of those. Then obviously we have our secretary, Emma, who can't be here as she's actually working at the moment. But she's in charge of all of our social events. She helps out a lot with the social media as well.
And I'm Tom, so I'm the treasurer, so I'll be managing the budget for the club. So if you've got any questions, maybe about finances or the cost of membership and things like that, then you could talk to me. And my picture's in the slideshow there. I'm the lemon. So.
Yeah. So what is VegSoc? So basically, VegSoc is something we're new to the student union, but we're not completely new. So we have been up and running for kind of since last year, I guess. So we just wanted to make a space at Harper that was available for vegetarians, for vegans, and for people that are kind of interested in pursuing a plant-based diet / lifestyle. So VegSoc is primarily a kind of a social club. So it lets people like-minded views kind of come together, chat about stuff. But as well as that, we're organising activities this year, which is new for us. So we're doing things like having speakers in to talk, we're doing film night, meals out, and we've got some exciting projects with other societies as well that hopefully are in the works. Yeah, obviously everything this year is a little bit subject to COVID and COVID regulations, so it could be licensed to change. But fingers crossed that most of the stuff that we're doing, we can adapt. We've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes to make sure that we can still have socials and they can still go ahead, but in a way that's safe for participants. Yeah. Yeah, as it says there, we're always open to new ideas, new members. Yeah, so if there's any kind of burning thing that you would really love to see happening at VegSoc, drop us an email, drop us a message, and we'll see what we can do, really. And obviously it does mention there about member privacy. Obviously it's something that's a really big deal to us. I know it can be a bit scary going somewhere that's historically not been particularly welcoming to this kind of thing. And so if you do want to be a part of it, but you don't want to actively put your name around it, there's absolutely no worries about that. Like all of our member lists, everything like that is all private. Yeah, so if you do have any kind of like safeguarding concerns or anything like that, again, like you don't need to worry, but you can message us if you want to clarify anything about names, kind of what courses you do, anything like that. Yeah. Tom, do you want to talk about socials this term?
Yeah, by all means. So as you can see on the slide there, it's quite up in the air at the moment. So we're doing what we can to make sure that everyone's kept safe at our socials. And I expect we'll have some online socials as well. So all of our socials will be socially distanced. So members will be asked to wear face masks and sanitize their hands at the rooms or before they enter the rooms where the meetups taking place. And yeah, we'll be working very hard kind of behind the scenes to keep you safe and kind of plan these events, doing risk assessments that you won't have to worry about, hopefully. And so, yeah, so this term, as usual, be carrying on with weekly socials, whether that's in person or over Zoom. So that's the plan anyway. And we also have some collaborative projects in the works with other societies, which B has more inside scoops into, as well as having guest speakers, we hope, and film nights. So we can look forward to those.
And obviously there are other things that we'd really like to do this term. but it's a matter of we don't want to promise things that we're not sure that we'll be able to feasibly deliver, especially, you know, if other things happen, if we do go into further lockdown, that kind of thing. But film nights are something that we can do, because obviously we have big lecture theatres at Harper. You know, we can stay nice socially distant, we can, you know, but we can still socialise in a nice environment whilst also feeling quite safe. So that's something we're confident that we can deliver on. Yeah, the projects with other societies I'm quite excited about. If you're on our Harper Adams Biological Society call earlier in this week, that's who a few of our projects are with. So we're still waiting to get the go-ahead on a few of those, so I don't want to give out too many details. But one of them's to do with building a herb garden at Harper Adams, and the other one is to do with a bird hide restoration project on some land that's just outside of Harper, but owned by it. Yeah, so lots of exciting things in the works, and very much kind of collaborative projects, so everyone working together. Yeah, so a little Q&A. Yeah, okay, so so membership of VegSoc basically gets you entry into all of our social events, all of our projects, everything like that. And the membership helps us cover costs in terms of if we need to hire transport to take us somewhere, you know, in terms of providing refreshments. Yeah, just bits and bobs really. It's only £5 a year, so it's really cheap. And if we do have a trip or a project that is going to need extra member contribution, such as, you know, Telford Exotic Zoo, that's one of the trips we're thinking about this year, again COVID dependent, that will be something that will need member contribution towards. But anything that does require that is always optional. So £5 covers all of our like normal socials, everything like that. It's only if we're doing something extra special that we might need some extra money for.
Yep, that's it. I can fill this one. So can you join VegSoc even if you aren't veggie or vegan? So yes is the answer. So long as you have a genuine like interest and a respect for like people who observe plant-based diets or veggie or vegan diets, then yeah, we'd love to have you come along. So yeah, we'd like to keep it light-hearted, not let it get heavy. It's about making friends, sharing ideas, sharing recipes, sharing snacks. Yeah, that kind of thing. So yes, is the answer.
Yeah, and kind of following on from that, what if I'm a little shy letting everyone know I'm veggie/vegan in an agricultural uni? Now, obviously, I mean, most people on this call are freshers, but those that aren't, I think it can be quite intimidating if you're thinking about going to somewhere that's obviously very agricultural university, very agricultural surroundings, and it can feel a bit kind of intimidating, but absolutely, like, there's nothing to worry about. Obviously, as we've said, we take member privacy really, really seriously. So you don't need to worry about, you know, your details getting out or anything like that. And even if they did, you know, if someone's giving you bother because they found out that you don't want to eat meat, then just come and talk to us. Like, we've got strong links with the student union, with student support services. Like, Harper very much going forwards is having a zero tolerance policy on any kind of discrimination, including dietary, because obviously from the recent court case it's now enshrined in law, you know, you can't discriminate against somebody because of their dietary choice. So don't feel, you know, like you're being overly sensitive or that it doesn't matter. You know, it is serious. If it's upsetting you, then that's serious enough that something needs to be done about it. So yeah, just feel free to ask us any questions you have, even if you're not a part of Harper VegSoc, but you've got somebody that's giving you bother for it. Just drop us a message, and if you want to do something anonymously about it, we can see what we can do to help. Yeah, so we're always here for a chat or for a moan.
Yep. And the last question on here is, how often do you meet? And I see there's another question in the Q&A box on here that we'll get to in a sec. So yeah, we're aiming for once a week, I think. Yeah, so that could take the form of an in-person meetup or something online on Zoom. Could be trips away, hopefully, maybe some volunteering, meals out, if that's allowed when it comes to it. Yeah, things like that.
I think the question that's come up is probably best aimed towards you, Tom.
Okay.
It's guest speakers.
Oh, guest speakers. Yeah, well, we've got some people in mind. I haven't quite got like an exhaustive list together, but I've seen some other university societies get speakers like Peter Singer. I mean, that'd be amazing. Peter Singer, for those who don't know, is a big animal welfare advocate. He's a big advocate of people following plant-based diets of one kind or another, and generally just improving the welfare of particularly farmed animals in general. And he's also a philosopher, and he's got some very interesting books on related subjects and ethics and things. That would be incredible. Even if, or even if it just becomes like a screening and a Q&A, that would be incredible. So Peter Singer would be my a favorite.
That's the other thing, is that a lot of the speakers things that will be happening this year, I think nearly exclusively, unless things change, will be over Zoom. So it will generally be a call like this that obviously we can tune into and that kind of thing. And looking more locally for speakers as well, Shrewsbury's quite a big vegan hideout. There's vegan business owners, there's vegan chefs, there's quite a few different local groups, including kind of groups like Shropshire Veggies and Vegans, and the kind of the young cohort of that as well. So there's a lot of interesting people that it would be nice to have a chat to, really.
Yeah.
Just to jump in there, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt. Last year we had a vegan chef who's got a vegan food business come onto campus. His name's Mitch. He does Mitch's Meals, and you can follow him on Instagram, all sorts. I'll make sure I'm not getting his handle wrong. But yeah, he literally came on campus. He gave out a ton of free samples.
Yeah, Mitch's Kitchen.
Mitch's Kitchen, yeah. Mitch's Kitchen. And Mitch is a top guy. I've known him for years. He went from a very meat-heavy diet. In fact, he's been to my house and cooked me a wonderful steak before. And then through his own discovery, he just decided that he didn't want to eat meat anymore. He's a super nice guy and is really into his food in a big way. We had him on campus last year, and I will do my best to see if I can get him as a guest speaker somehow for this year, because he's a great guy to speak to. But yeah, anyway, I'll jump off now.
No, again, like he came and did a food share, and it was in the Facenda Centre, as I always want to call it, kind of in the foyer area, just giving out free food samples and having a chat. And that's definitely something that we've discussed doing as a society, in terms of, providing, just being like, hey, this is who we are, come and have some free food. Obviously not viable at the moment, but something that we are looking into. But again, if we do something like that, it will be completely voluntary. Like, if you're not happy having your face out there, that's completely cool as well. But yeah, that was really good. I enjoyed having him there. Yeah, we have another question, one that I'm looking forward to answering.
Oh yeah, love this question.
Yeah, local eateries. Where do we start, Tom? Me and Tom both live in Shrewsbury, which is amazing for vegan stuff. So
yeah, let's take it in turn. So I want to recommend Nerdy first of all. So Nerdy, it's not a like vegan restaurant or anything. It's a board game cafe, and they have like vegan friendly options. But it was started by Rachel Matthews and her husband, and she used to work at Harper. So she left it, but her and her partner actually met at university and developed the business plan for this board game cafe that became Nerdy in Shrewsbury. So that's definitely one not to miss. Yeah, and she's vegan. That's the connection.
They do like loaded nachos and stuff that are vegan. I haven't been there because they got wiped out by the floods just when I was meant to go, but that's definitely going to be one of mine.
So they're open now. So
yeah, they are.
Everyone will be flocking to them.
Yeah. Probably my favourite place in Shrewsbury, which hasn't reopened yet, is Itadaki Zen, which is all vegan, all organic Japanese restaurant, and they are amazing. And I worked there as a waitress a few years ago as well, and they are like the nicest people ever. It's a family-run business, So they've got restaurants in Tokyo, in London, in Paris, and then in Shrewsbury, because they were driving through one day, and the dad said, this is really beautiful, I want to live here. And he was like, well, if we're going to live here, then we might as well start up a restaurant. And so they did. So if you go in there, the chances are you'll see one of the children working there, because they have 8 boys, 1 girl. So yeah, but it's really amazing. And they do takeaway as well, and they also do 50% student discount on Wednesdays. So Wednesdays is a really good time to go. I'm hoping that we'll have a meal out when they reopen, and when we're allowed to, on Wednesdays for 50% student discount. So that's really good.
Yeah, nice one.
I'm typing them into the chat as well. So.
Oh, well done. Another one is Plant Kind Falafel Cafe. So they're on a street called Milk Street in Shrewsbury, which isn't very vegan, but they are entirely vegan. So that's definitely my favorite. I always want to go there every time we go into town. I'm trying to think of places that are closer to Harper that aren't in Shrewsbury.
Well, is Ironbridge closer or not closer?
Similar distance, different direction.
Well, if you want to go in a different direction, it's called the Greenwood Cafe in Ironbridge, and it is amazing, like really, really good. And they're still open at the moment, so they're a COVID safe space. So they've got outdoor seating. They do amazing vegan options, including they've got these Biscoff pancakes at the moment. They've got vegan pepperoni and stuff. They're really, really good. Yeah. So I'd recommend them. I closed it. I'm going to retype it. Yeah. What else can you think of?
I'm trying to think of. There's another place that's just round the corner from the falafel place that does more oriental food. What am I thinking of? On the tip of my tongue. No,
just while you're thinking there, I can also vouch for the Greenwood Cafe, because it is awesome. They do some amazing coffee, and the food is fantastic. So yeah, I can definitely back that up. It's also quite a nice place to walk around as well. So yeah, there's that.
There's nice woodlands and things. It's literally like a little woodland paradise. It's amazing.
Yeah. I don't know it's been a while since I ate at the canteen in Fessenda, but
last time I checked, the only place that does vegan milk on campus is Costa. So Costa does have vegan soy milks and things available. Last time I asked at Fessenda, they didn't have soy milk, and they didn't have, they have a salad, I think, without the dressing that's vegan. But
yeah, and I was having chips and beans for a while until they pointed out that the chips weren't vegan because they were cooking meat in the same fryer or something, for some reason like that. I was like, oh,
another thing that we're trying to work towards, more options, which would be nice. They did some trials last year. They trialed some of the vegan food from the canteen, and they had bao buns and stuff, and they were amazing, but I haven't seen hide nor hair of them since. Yeah. What are the veggie options on campus like?
There is actually one of the members of staff who I met last year is vegan.
Okay.
So she was very excited to meet me. So there's the odd things I don't know if they're crisps and bars and things in the little cafe. I'm not sure if it's still open in the library building in Bamford.
Yes. Oh yeah.
If you need a snack, not a meal.
I was going to say, I've had there are crisps there, and there are little snack bars that are kind of accidentally vegan. I've had those before in a push. But it's definitely something that we want to push for as a society, is more veggie and vegan options, because obviously anybody can eat them. It's not restrictive at all. But I think a large part of that is pushing through the stereotype and the negative relationship that has been beforehand in terms of between vegetarians and vegans and the farming community. So making sure that we move forwards in a way that's respectful, but is also kind of look, we eat plants, we eat fruit, we eat vegetables, they're all crops, that it's all agricultural industry kind of thing, not anti-farming. Quite a few of us, our secretary Emma, she's a farmer. I grew up in and around the farming community. It's not it's not any kind of anti-farming movement. It's just something a bit different. Yeah, so trying to, I think, move away from that and move into a place where we can work towards something better at Harper, but without, I don't know, it's a balance really. But yeah, that's definitely something that we want to do.
Sounds good. We're fresh out of questions here.
Yeah.
So if anyone has any Q's, we'll give you some A's. Sorry, that was terrible.
It's been a long day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now our Facebook page is officially up and running, which is good. And Instagram as well, which I have actually been posting on. So it's actually worth checking it out. Yeah.
We should have also shared your Instagram page on the main SU page if it hasn't, on the main SU Instagram page. If it hasn't been done yet, it will be done shortly.
Okay, cool. I think it should be, but I think I need to update the Facebook link. They said, do you have many members? How anonymous to keep it. Obviously we're not a new society, and we were running last year, just that we weren't SU affiliated. We've got about, I would say there are about 10 to 15 of us, but some of those obviously are off on placement years or have left or that kind of thing. So this year I think we'll probably have about 10 of us to start off with, and see how it goes. Obviously we haven't had freshers bookings through yet, so I don't know how many freshers we're going to have with us. Hopefully lots. But yeah, so we'll, at the moment, about 10, I would say. If Tom, Mr. Membership, agrees
Yeah,
with
that sounds about right to me. Couldn't add much to that other than to say, yeah, we need, yeah, we'll wait and see who turns up this year. We need
Just
some fresh blood.
Just to add to that, so when we did the pre-arrival survey, and that was sent out to all freshers, we had 13 people, 13 out of about 450 respondents who said that they were interested in the Vegetarian and Vegan Society. And what we're going to do is make sure that anybody who registered for this session, because there were quite a few people who registered, we're going to make sure that they will be sent a link to this video. So everyone who said they're interested, we're going to try and make sure there's good follow through so you can actually come along to any sessions that you guys have.
Yeah, sounds good. So what days are we meeting? So our first meeting is hopefully, subject to approval from Andy, is hopefully going to be next Wednesday. Time to be decided and venue to be decided, but that'll be just kind of like our first introductory meeting. It's not going to be anything crazy. It's just going to be like a, hey, who are you? How are you? You know, how's your first week on campus kind of been? And that's, you don't have to be a member to come to that either. So it's just kind of, just come along, see what you think, and then yeah, beyond that. But we should hopefully be meeting on Wednesdays, with other events that we're going to be doing, like speakers or film nights or trips. They might be on weekend days or on different days of the week, depending what best suits members, really. Yeah.
Yep, sounds good.
I'm trying to answer them. Yeah, there we go. I think that's everything.
I think you guys have covered pretty much everything. I think you've done